Got it. All right.
Yes.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Very nice to meet you. Appreciate y'all bearing with us while we get everything set up. Wouldn't be a presentation without some technical difficulties, but here we are. My name is Anastasia Fedorova. I oversee the 2K internship program as well as the grad program. I actually built it for us from the ground up on the 2K side. This is going to be the third summer that 2K has had a formalized internship program. So very excited here. I'll chat with you a little bit about our summer internships. I have about like 8 slides, and then really just wanted to open up to all y'all to see what kind of questions you have. Sitting front and center, we have Max with us. They actually completed a summer internship and still are an intern with us here at 2K. So I'm also going to call upon them to answer any questions that y'all may have as like a first boots on the ground, still an intern. They could really tell you what it's all like about. So let's get started. Should I admit? Yes. Okay, I already introduced myself, but that's my LinkedIn handle. It got really dark all of a sudden, but here we are. If you want, that's my LinkedIn. Feel free to hit me up for any questions. This summer, I won't be recruiting for the program. I finally hired a campus recruiter, so she'll be helping me out. Her name is Melissa Chow. If you literally search her up on LinkedIn, she's the campus recruiter, but as mentioned, I oversee the entire program. Do folks know the difference between publishing and development studios? Yes, seeing some head nods. Okay, awesome. For folks that are not familiar, Max, I might need your help with this and call upon you, but Max gave me the freaky eye. Essentially, 2K Publishing is a game publisher. We partner with different development studios under our arsenal. I think someone needs to mute themselves this way. Under our arsenal, we have 12 or 13 specifically 2K development studios, but we also partner with non-2K owned developers. So the developers are actually the folks that create the physical product and game. And then on the publishing side, we help bring that game to market pre, during, and post-launch. So that's what kind of differentiates us. So this internship program is on the publishing side, meaning that it works across all of our different titles and all of our different games and territories, which is super exciting because here's just a few games in our portfolio that our summer interns are working on. And as mentioned, it's not just one specific title across the board. Here we have our video. Come as you are is one of the key core values here at 2K. Really just denotes kind of the ethos of us here. Really gamer, non-gamer alike, just really kind of leads with bringing your true authentic self. And I'll let the video do the talking for me. So let's get into it. I hope.
Individuals,
Parents.
Gamers,
poets,
Semi-pro chefs.
Dungeon masters,
hikers,
readers,
geeks,
travelers, disruptors,
Team players.
I'm a dog lover,
explorers,
musicians.
sports fan.
So yes, we love the applause. Keep it coming. Yeah, so kind of front center, what you saw in that video is obviously just folks from different walks of life. I think what really makes 2K super unique is historically in the gaming industry, folks that work in gaming, like they play games and they're true hard gamers. I think what sets us apart really is tons of diehard gamers, but also folks that don't come necessarily from the gaming industry, but have also come from, as I mentioned, automotive, just different walks of life, and all just are really, really passionate about our product. And are really passionate about just entertainment in general. And that really kind of makes a holistic perspective. So in the very beginning of the video, you might have seen scenes from our mocap studio. We actually have, don't quote me on this, I want to say the biggest mocap studio in the country. It has 2 dedicated mocap stages. It was just remodeled about 3 years ago, has literally state of the art, like just super snazzed out equipment. Our interns actually get to go on a field trip there as part of the internship program and see what it's like from the ground up. What does mocap do? There's a ton. I think I speak for all the interns, and Max can agree that you just learn a ton that day. What goes into making a game, and also what the heck mocap even is. Some other things, just to give you a quick highlight of the internship program. It's open to folks that are in school at the time of internship. So folks that are undergrad, grad, and PhD students. This upcoming summer, the duration will be 10 weeks long. It is a hybrid model. So we are based out in the Northern Bay Area in Nevada, if anyone's familiar at all. Just think of Marin County. 3 days in the office, 2 days off to allow for that hybrid flexibility. One of the biggest pillars of this internship program was really just making sure that folks are still in the office and learning and just getting really good face time with the other interns, collabing as a cohort and collabing with everyone else at 2K. This allows, like here at 2K, work super cross-functionally. So this just allows for a lot of idea sharing and honestly just bonding with your other fellow interns. For folks that are non-local to the Bay Area, we do offer a relocation stipend. So that, I know that's probably one of the questions that folks may have. So we do cover that. In addition to other things that you can expect, as mentioned, we do go to the mocap tour on a weekly cadence. We have lunch and learns with the executive leadership. The format of it kind of varies, but typically it's a Q&A session where I'll do a moderated Q&A with whoever the executive leader is. We've had our chief marketing officer, our COO, the president actually came and spoke twice to the interns. So just really allows them to get an intimate FaceTime with our key core leaders and also to ask them about, hey, what are we doing with this? Why do we acquire this studio, et cetera, and really just allows for a more intimate forum. In addition to kind of the Q&A, we also have folks come in and give presentations about their department so interns can really learn about the company from the inside out. Already talked about the mocap studio tour. I think that's one of my favorite highlights because it's just super unique to 2K. And in addition to that, we also do like more fun, like low-key things, like we go to a Giants game. There's, barbecues, movie nights. And then at the end of the summer, there's also a cumulative intern end of summer presentation where the interns present to not only other interns, hiring managers, and then the executive leadership team, what they learned throughout the summer. So that intern end of summer presentation is very highly anticipated, and I think it's just really rewarding. Any questions here? I know I kind of blabbed on for a while. Yes, let's hear it.
Yeah, since it's hybrid in Nevada, California, is relocation like compensated?
Yeah. So if you're not local to the Bay Area, that you would be eligible for a relocation stipend. Yeah, great question.
And is it usually I guess like housing with other interns, or is it like this is
I'm gonna be super honest with you. We're still figuring it out. Last summer was the first time. It's gonna be year 3 of the internship program. Last summer we did like an extended hotel situation. The interns absolutely loved it. They all got to bond. It was kind of a bougie hotel. It is it is a liability a little bit for us. So we're gonna give folks probably like a stipend and they can figure that piece out. That being said, as program manager, I'm going to do my best to like connect folks up ahead of time so you're not just like going in blind in SF housing market because that's high-key terrifying. Cool. Great question. Yes, in the back.
What positions do you have available for internships?
Yes.
Design, et cetera?
Great question. I will get to that in a couple slides, so just hang tight with that, but I will talk about it at length. Great question. Anything else? Okay, I'm sure there'll be more questions later. Just wanted to give you a high-level overview of some of the projects that our interns have worked on. When designing this internship program, one of the biggest key pillars of it was just making sure that making projects that matter, like shit that matters, is really what I wanted y'all to work on. So these are some of the juicy, just comprehensive projects that our interns have worked on this past summer. For instance, developing our 2K TikTok strategy, an influencer analysis with Ronnie 2K, recruiting cost per hire analysis between our studios and also publishing, competitive analysis on the NBA 2K season passes, a 5-year PGA Tour feature roadmap, so actually forecasting how the game is going to track in about 5 years, and then new ad development optimization and creating testing strategy for some of our unreleased titles. So it just gives you a little bit of a taste of what the actual stuff that our interns are going to be working on. In addition to this, before our interns come through our doors, I work specifically with each hiring manager to make sure that they're set up for success. So these projects just don't come out of thin air. It's actually months of planning ahead of time. So each week that the interns are here with us, their 10 weeks are all planned out. We have what's called a summer roadmap to make sure that before you enter the doors, each week is mapped out. You know exactly what you're working on. So you don't just come in here and you're like, where's the bathroom? Where do I go? Like it's all kind of mapped out. And then I'll let Max kind of touch upon that later in the presentation. She can give you a firsthand analysis. So this was for you in the back. These are kind of some of our potential internship positions. Our roles are going to go live in the next week or so. So we're quite literally still finalizing what roles we're going to be hiring for, but definitely you can expect software engineering. Going to be this one is a very competitive internship, but these are the folks that are working on the back end of our games. Data science. Max is one of our mobile interns. In addition to that, we're hiring marketing interns all across our all across our global marketing strategy, social media. So these are just, again, a little taste of what's expected. Again, right now we're quite literally in the final stages of outlining all of our job descriptions, but I know for a fact we're going to have software development intern, a content design intern, social media and global marketing strategy. So keep an eye out in the next week or two on our careers page. And then I'll connect with the folks from here to make sure that once our job descriptions do go live, you guys can get a blast from it. Hopefully I answered your question. Yes, cool. And as mentioned, folks that are eligible for the internship for our internships have to be in school at the time of internships. They're open for undergrad, grad, masters, and MBA folks as well. I would just pop this slide in here just to kind of outline how can you stand out from the rest of the applicant pool. Last year we had about 15,000 applicants. So on average, when I was looking at resumes, and I promise I do read each one, it takes me about an average of 7 seconds to look at resumes. So that's pretty quick. That means in 7 seconds, it's really important to really think about the impact of the work that you're doing. So kind of some tips I would say is to really make sure that you're tailoring your resume towards each role that you're applying for, and really making sure that the stuff that's listed in the job description that you can kind of relate your experience to how it would stand out for the specific role. So really think about leading with impact. Are there any special projects that you've worked on? Are there any extracurriculars? How is this all going to tie in? We say that for our internships, it's obviously an internship, so you don't necessarily need work experience, but any extracurriculars, projects like clubs, what are you a part of that again can kind of make you stand up from the crowd, and really sets you apart from the competition. Of those 15,000, we've hired 23 this summer, so that just kind of shows you the sliver, or last summer, so that just kind of shows you the sliver of the folks that made it. Cool. Oh, question, yeah.
So this is a question from someone on Zoom. Would you consider people majoring in cinema and media studies for your marketing internship?
Absolutely. Yes. This is a good segue. We really, in addition to majors, we also look at this, like the extracurriculars and the projects that y'all are working on. Like for instance, we hired a public health major for our influencer internship last summer. So really, if there's something that you want to try, like my whole essence of building this internship program was to really help folks, to really come in and try new things. So if you're a public health major, but you're like, I love marketing or social media, this is a perfect opportunity for y'all to have your hand in it. Of course, if it's like public health and it's just like very medical related things and there's nothing standing apart from like marketing, it's kind of hard to make the case, okay, why? So really, when you're writing your resumes or for whatever reason, just make sure that you really help us bridge that gap. Hey, I'm studying creative sciences and I want to do software engineering. Okay, talk to me, help me bridge that why. That way we can make that case for you. Cool. Just wanted to quickly highlight our next steps for the internship. So we're in October already. So hopefully, as I mentioned, in the next couple weeks or so, we're going to go ahead and post those specific job descriptions. This kind of just outlines the timeline, but we're hoping to start doing recruiter phone screens towards the end of the month. November is going to be hiring manager interviews and team interviews. And this is a bit ambitious, and I think we're going to have to push this out, but I really was hoping to have all offers out by winter break. That being said, looking at how things are going, it's probably going to be closer to December, January timeframe. So that's just to kind of give you a sense of our next steps. I know historically gaming companies recruit more heavily in the springtime, so our timeline is a little bit more accelerated. So I did just want to get this on y'all's radar. And then, so as I mentioned, our JDs, I feel like I keep saying this, so sorry, I'm just going to drive this point home. Our job descriptions are going to be live in the next week or so, but in the meantime, we do have 2 prospect posts on our career site, careers.2k.com. we have two, they're called like prospect posts, but it's literally like an engineering like bucket and then a marketing bucket. If you don't fit either one of those, but you still want to be in one of our in our database, go ahead and submit your resume. It's literally just kind of like a holding bucket, so to speak, for all applications. That way you'll be in our database ahead of time. And then again, in the next week or two, go ahead and check back, and then we'll have those specific job descriptions listed out for each of those roles. And then lastly, and I apologize in advance for the merged pictures there. So yeah, but this is the only way I could get it all in one slide. This is a QR code just for highlighting what it's like to intern at 2K, kind of talking about the stories of 5 interns here at 2K and just kind of the specific projects that they worked on and how their time was here with us. And also over here on the bottom left is the mocap tour that we all went to as part of our field trip. Top left is the first day, and then that's some of the swag that our interns got. Awesome. And before I break for questions, I would love to invite Liz is here. Hi. Sorry, that's our other intern from this past summer. I would love to put Max and potentially Liz on the spot to talk about their experience at 2K and also open this up to any questions. Like, this is y'all's time, so I would love to answer any questions to either myself, Max, or Liz. But first, if the two of you want to introduce yourselves and then tell the group what you got up to this summer.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Max. I'm interactive media and game design, so I definitely do not have a CS degree. I was doing production this summer and some product management work as well. Because very useful. Hey guys, I'm Liz. I'm a business student and this summer I was a Dutch student.
Do you guys want to kind of tell the group really quickly what projects you got up to?
Yes. I'm sure some of you are like sick and tired of me talking about 2K and how much I love it already, but I was doing and it is I'm still working on it actually. I'm doing a template draft for the software reporting for my title that is unannounced, so I can't really talk about it, but I'm working on that template where it's going to first of all the executive team, like the COO and that kind of people, and the operational team of my game, and they're going to whole mobile titles, which is incredible because I'm an intern. So it is really meaningful work, and I really get to have lots of exposure to awesome people.
Liz?
Yeah, I didn't really work so much on the development side, but I did an analysis of how like products are changed over their life cycle. I also worked on an unreleased title,
Yes.
like the new iteration of that game. The development is super cool, so I don't really have any kind of development background, but I got to be like pretty involved in it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, with that, I would love to open it up. Maybe we could bring up the lights a little bit. It's a little dark. I would love to open it up to any questions y'all may have. We're here as a resource. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. What kind of questions do y'all have for me, for us? I'm happy to take any at this point.
So I'm interested in the mobile game development, specifically like the engineering side. I have a background in multiplayer networking and mobile games. And so I was wondering what that like specific internship would be like.
Tell me one more time your majors.
I'm CS games.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. As I mentioned, our JDs are going to go live in the next week or so. So those aren't finalized at the moment, but off the top, I think we are going to be kind of exploring the designing aspect of things potentially. This is on the publishing side, so you're not just working on one core title, you're kind of working across all different, sometimes unreleased titles. But if you really wanted to dig into like the core software engineering, we are going to have some as software engineering internships for sure this summer as well. Cool. Yeah. Yes.
Hi, I'm Luke.
Luke.
I'm also interested in the production side of things. Max has told me quite a bit about it.
Cool.
And I wanted to ask a little bit of a clarifying question about the actual application process. I'm assuming that people are going to be expected to submit portfolio websites along with their resumes and cover letters, right?
Yeah. I would say, I mean, it's an internship, so if you don't have like a very zhuzhed up portfolio or reel, don't feel, yes, I feel like you're going to add something. Let's go.
I was more asking, is it okay if it's portfolios, is it okay if the website itself is password protected in any way? Is there any?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's fine. Yes, that should be fine. And then if there's obviously I'm not recruiting, but Melissa says she's like, oh, I love your stuff. Let me see. She can always get in touch with you. I'm assuming it's for security reasons.
Yes.
So yeah, that's totally fine. That was it.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, okay, cool. Love it. Yes.
So another question from Zoom. Can we apply for the 2023 summer internship if we're going to graduate in May 2023?
Great question. Unfortunately, all graduating seniors of May 2023 will not be eligible for the internship because you have to be a student at the time of internship. So this summer you should be enrolled, whether that's undergrad, master's, MBA, some student along the lines. But to that, I will say, we are hiring a lot. So all graduating folks, please go to careers.2k.com and check out. There's quite a few openings for that. Yes.
Hello, I'm
Hello.
and also engineering background, but I noticed that you said that to differentiate your resume from other resumes, you have to make an impact, especially in the 7 seconds you're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
What strategies or use specific or methods or things you're looking for that makes an impact on you?
Great question, Edward. For me, it literally takes under 10 seconds. So I would say really list your technical skills, like for software engineering or any engineering background, tech skills, we want to see them. So please make them visible. Like I do not want to dig and see like what is happening. So like make it as, make it as visible as possible. Oh, there we go, camera. So obviously list your tech skills in order of proficiency. So what you're strongest in, to what you're strongest in from there on out. And then additionally for me, it's just kind of connecting the dots, like any opportunities that you've been a leader or any clubs that you're a part of, like really level set that, because if I have to hear NBA 2K is my favorite game, I've been playing it since I was 11 one more time, that's great, but everyone says that, so just anything that makes you as a little zhuzh, makes you stand apart from the pack and really kind of help solidify, here's what things I've taken from ideation to completion, here's what I've taken point on, those are the sort of things that speak to me.
Sounds great.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with you first, you second.
How often do you retain interns for like full-time positions? So you have they're asking near graduating, so like junior, seniors.
Yes, so that's a really great question. This is year 3 of our internship program. So historically, we don't have like a fully fledged out process like some of the big competitors that have been on for many decades even. That being said, from our first year, we converted 3 interns to full-time. And then this past summer, we extended, of the 23, we extended 4 full-time offers for graduation, and all 4 have been accepted.
Oh, and there are also lots of extensions, which other AAA studios don't really do. So I'm still an intern, which is awesome.
Yeah, we extended, I want to say, 6 interns as well. And again, it's kind of case by case, depending on which projects you're working on, depending on the need. Like you could be a really stellar intern, but may not get extended just due to, there's a lot of things that go into it. So that being said, if you weren't extended, that's no tea, no shade on you. But there are opportunities for extensions. And actually the first summer kind of went crazy with the extensions. We extended over half of our interns just because everyone loved them, which was great. But we are really focusing on ironing out like a full conversion time process. It's a bit tricky because, y'all know entertainment and gaming, there's always that pesky little thing called headcount. So we really have to go in to make our case for, why we can project headcount a full year in advance. Yes. Let's go him first and then Zoom first. Okay.
Hi, I'm Rocco.
Hi, Rocco.
I'm an interactive games student. I was wondering, since 2K is at a publishing, it's like mostly during publishing, is there any interactions with any of the other studios like Alexander or Box?
You want to take this one, Max, at all?
Sure. I mean, for me, we definitely had lots of weekly meetings with our developer side. And I know Brian also was talking very active with his developer side. It depends on what team you're on, but I know we like production, so the production definitely.
Yeah, our production team works really intricately with even Max's team, but then more so like our production and development team overall works very intricately with, aside from mobile, works very intricately with our developers. Again, depending on which projects and games you're on, like you could be talking with Gearbox, Cloud Chamber, whoever, depending on the nature of the projects. Yeah. Yes. Oh, did we just start? We said Zoom next, and then you're next.
So this is a question from Liz. For portfolios, is it a good idea to add work from projects which aren't finished, but not mention them on the resume? Like to show our assets from a project.
Yeah, honestly, like the more info you can give me, the better. Like when I was reviewing resumes, it's just a lot about figuring out as much information as you can give me about yourself and what makes you tick and any projects that you have going, like even things that you have going on in the back end, just shows me that you're incredibly passionate about what you do and what you bring to the table, and just helps me identify you more as like a human being that I can relate with. So yes, the answer to that is yes. Any and all works. Like go ahead and list them in your portfolio. The more information you give me, the better. Oh, here we go. Admit. You.
Hi, I'm Andre.
Hi, Andre.
Mine kind of piggybacks off of Moose's question.
Yes.
I want to ask, like, how would you recommend setting up a resume portfolio if, like, the majority of your experience has been recent and is on, like, unfinished, unshipped games?
I think you could, there's different ways. I feel like there's a lot. Do you guys do any like professional development or anything with like resume feedback or anything like that? No? Well, yeah, duh.
I know there are certain professors you can contact to ask them to look at your portfolio resume. One that's off the top of my head is Robert Rashad, and also Cynthia Wool is completely willing to look at your portfolio.
Awesome.
So do feel free to contact them if you want them to look at your stuff.
Take that, and then also like if you just write like you list your project and then you just say to present, and then you could literally like put in like parentheses, sorry, words, put in parentheses like unfinished or still working on it, in development, whatever it is, just to show like these are some of the things I have in the cooker, I'm still working on it. It also makes a really good starting point for conversation, honestly, as well. But I recommend also using all the resources available to you. Yeah. Who's next? Yes.
I was just wondering, like, I don't know if you said this earlier. I'm Shannon, by the way.
Hi, Shannon.
Game games. Do you like what's like a day-to-day like as like an intern over the summer?
Max, Liz, do you guys want to take it?
I can answer this one. Well, so we said it's like hybrid 3 times a week in the office, but nearly everyone came in every day or tried to come in every day because there isn't any limit. And some people really stayed in late. So it's like this office environment, and they have an open door policy. So if you see the CEOs that are open, you can walk in and talk with them, which I did like 6 times. And all the executive team. They're incredible people. You will have, day-to-day tasks that are given to you by your manager, depending on, what discipline you're a part of. And then you can also, it is very flexible with that. So you can also like edit and change things about your day-to-day tasks. And while doing that, on your breaks or whenever, you can go to the executive team or people or senior level people and, ask them about their experience. It really depends on how you want to experience it. But it is awesome.
Liz, anything to add?
Yeah, I think there's like in a way that it's very much other internships I've had. There was like a common space that all the interns had the option to work in. Everyone had their own desk kind of in like a similar area. There was also, I know, like Max stuff because it is, but an option to sit with like people who are more senior on their team as well. Learn from them. Everyone was pretty collaborative. I found it was kind of great because the same person I sit next to, we were doing similar work. We kind of like collaborated a lot. Which was cool. And then also it's like 2K and Sauce is great at like doing a lot of intern events and then
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, guys.
And then for another question from Luz, related to the questions about unfinished projects, are projects which are abandoned all right to add to a portfolio if there is some work that you're proud of within that project?
Absolutely. Again, like the more info y'all can give us, the better. Just put it on there. Things that you're proud of, like again, as much stacked info as you can give us, all the better. And I would definitely recommend using the resources that you have at your fingertips. USC is incredible, like with just all the resources y'all have. So please like utilize these free resources to make sure that you can really like get across what you're saying in the best and most efficient manner as well. Other questions? Yeah.
Hello. I'd like to ask another question.
Yes.
So what are common things that you may notice during the application process that students make mistakes on, or like how do you feel like, oh, okay, you're gonna toss this resume instantly away?
Yeah, that's a great one. Like I wouldn't necessarily dock anyone for this or like throw it away, but like I'm a big stickler for like spelling. Like run your resume through a spell check, dear God. Grammar, I would say also things like a resume that's just like super bare. Like again, that's nothing against like folks that don't have a ton of experience, but like the stuff that you do have, like please elaborate on certain things. Like if you have a position, you had an internship, give me at least 3 to 4 bullet points, like what you did. I'm not going to know what you did in your previous company because everyone calls things differently. So that if it's just like completely like like just listing your like roles or whatever it is and then nothing else to add, it's kind of hard to make the case like how you'd make that impact. Again, everything ties back to impact made. And then in terms of, I think screening process, if you do make it to the recruiter phone screen, my biggest pet peeves are do a little bit of research on like who 2K is. Like you really don't need to go that deep. Like at least like do a quick Google search. It really helps. Because there's been times when I'm like, first question I always ask is, what do you know about 2K? And if folks are like, yeah, what's 2K? It's like, why are we talking on the phone right now? So even just like a very basic Google search to understand what we're doing. I've even had people be like, oh, you're 2K? Okay. It's like, yeah, did you get your interviews mixed up? So like that kind of stuff is like automatic, just no go. And then again, like really if and when you get to the recruiter phone screen, again, really talk about like how, like it's very clear the folks that have prepared because they have a really solid elevator pitch. I don't really have to like drag a ton of information out of them. And my interns will say as well that my phone screens are very, very conversational. You probably won't even feel like you're being interviewed because that's just kind of my style. It's very like, let's get to chat, let's get to know each other. And that way, when folks feel comfortable, they actually let you in on they kind of let you in on their frame of thinking. So that being said, just like come prepared to talk about like really like what makes you tick, different things. How do all of your experiences lead back to the role as well? So just I guess in a nutshell, do your research, please. Yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Yes.
A question from Emma. How much weight does 2K give to cover letters? I heard that some game companies don't usually consider them. What is 2K's stance?
I think this really depends on recruiter to recruiter, but I'm going to be super, super honest. If I spend 7 seconds looking at a resume, I really am not going to, I'm not going to really dig into a cover letter. That being said, if folks are looking to make a complete switch, like they're doing like aerospace engineering and they want to come be a product manager for us, and they write a cover letter to list the why, I will go ahead and read that just to kind of help me connect the dots. But I've maybe this past recruiting cycle read 10 cover letters because I was like, okay, I really want to understand like what kind of insights you have. I know we all hate writing cover letters. It's literally like a summarization of your resume. My personal take on it is make your resume super super solid and spend more time on that. That way you don't have to spend time on your cover letter. But again, this will vary from recruiter to recruiter. Other questions? Go. Let's hear it.
Cool. All right. So like, I'm interested in the games that like 2K published for example, BioShock, and also can't remember the names, but exactly off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But like, could you recommend 2K as an opportunity? If you get an internship at 2K, could you like use this as a jumping pad off to get in contact with those other companies?
Oh, like our developers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was actually talking with Max about this. I may be working on something behind the scenes. Right now, this opportunity is for publishing. We have extended the internship opportunity to studios. I know that Firaxis does have their own internship program. So if you're interested in that, and Firaxis, it develops Civ and XCOM. So that's the developer for they have their own internship program. But it would be, in short, yes, it would be a really great stepping stone if you work on publishing because you get to work across all the different titles. And then potentially like in the future would be a really strong candidate to consider for a studio opportunity as well.
Also to build off of that,
Yeah.
let's say, what skills would you say, especially for engineering and marketing, would you say this internship helps to hone or enhance?
Hone or enhance, I think it just gives you an opportunity to learn what it's like to work on the back end, for engineering specifically, on the back end across all of our different titles and tools kind of in the back end cloud services. I will say for any folks that are applying for specifically engineering, one of the prerequisites is having Java, knowing Java or having any Java experience. So if you're interested in our software engineering internships, definitely list that on your resume. It should be one of the top skills if you have it. That's one of kind of like the knockout ones, just because the internship is so dang competitive. You heard it here first. And then for marketing, just honing in again, like if we flip back, some of the projects that our folks have worked on is like TikTok strategy, global marketing strategy for our Borderlands game, marketing strategy for MBA. So just understanding like the concepts that you're learning at school and how do they translate into the gaming sphere, and also how do they translate in making a for-profit game, and just kind of honing in concepts that you're learning and how do they go into the application as well. Yeah, but Liz and Max, do you have anything to add how stuff you learned at school? Yeah, I see you're nodding your head.
Yes. This is not exactly about school, but like I want to mention this, which I think was great. I don't know if any other particular companies do this, but before we started a couple of weeks ago, they asked us if there were anything in particular that were interested in learning. So I sent them a bullet list, and not all of them were about production. And things I was like, yeah, pitching, for example, stuff like that. And then I come in and I talk to my manager. First day, he's like, yeah, I read your thing, it's done. And then he gives me stuff here to what I wanted to do. And he changes that roadmap according to what I wanted to do. And he takes suggestions from me. And then it was so valuable because he listened to me and then he changed all of my roadmap according to things I wanted to do, which I've never heard of or seen before. Yeah, I think that I definitely had a similar experience. My supervisor reached out to me like a month before I started, and we wanted some content about what I would be working on. The projects that I got were definitely like a lot harder than anything I've ever done before, but my supervisor picked them, so like now they've opened the door for like a ton of different opportunities for me. A lot of the people that I'm interviewing with right now are like, we've never heard of anyone who's had a project, or like who's had this much like freedom to have an impact in the company, which is super cool to hear. And so I feel like all of our supervisors, like from what I've heard, have like this interest in mind, and definitely pick stuff that we look like.
Awesome. Yep, you heard it here first. I mean, we want to make sure whether it's at 2K or beyond, we're really setting our interns up for success, whether they come back as, full-time or return intern or go in the industry. And we really just, the biggest reason why I'm so passionate about this program is we have a responsibility to all students to make sure that we're setting y'all up for success in the real world and actually giving you stuff like shit that matters. Like, this is not a pencil pushing internship. You're not getting coffee. You're actually working on like real life projects that your hiring managers are literally working on alongside them. So I think in addition to what our folks have said, what's super unique and I'm quite proud is like this space really does make you feel like you have a seat at the table and not like you're really working alongside and a true partner with your teams for the summer.
Yeah, my literally only complaint is that it is too much of a good working environment.
We did not pay her to say that, just saying. This is not sponsored.
No, it is not. Like I was expecting more horror stories, from Activision Blizzard and stuff. So
lol.
I mean, you all know it here. So I was not expecting them. If I ever go to any of those companies, like I don't know if this will have prepared me for that, because then it's just like very nice people and it'd be great to work with. I think also like I was super new to the gaming industry coming into it, and it was like really one of the best experiences in my life. Not like paid to say this in any way, but I've like strongly considering like gaming now as like a career choice, and I saw like a few more years left, but definitely it's keep in mind.
Yes, yeah, I love it. What a wholesome note. Any other questions from Zoom, from you all? I'll hang back because I feel like sometimes it's a little overwhelming to ask questions with 40, 45 plus people. If y'all want to come talk to me about specific roles or any advice or things like that, I'm all ears. I'll just hang back for a few minutes. And with that, I'm not sure, is there anything else you guys had on the agenda? This is pretty chill. Love that. Cool. Hopefully it delivers. So yeah, so as mentioned, Roles will open in the next week or two, so stay tuned. careers.2k.com. Yeah, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate being here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.